Welcome to 30 AF. This episode is about hack your health. And I don't know if you have, but we've watched a wonderful documentary on Netflix called Hack Your Health. For me, I learned a lot. So both of us actually suffer from a really weak gut. Starting from myself, I've had eczema since I was really little. So one of the biggest symptoms of eczema is that I have dry skin, very inflamed skin, and a lot of the reasons why people have eczema is actually because my gut is not able to actually remove or really sift out the toxins from what I'm eating, which leads to a very unhealthy or a very weak gut. So when I watched Hack Your Health, I learned so much.
What were the biggest lessons that you've learned?
I think what they said was your gut is your second brain. Your gut actually tells or advises your brain what to eat and what they don't want to eat.
Everyone's gut has a subset of microbiome, right?
It's like their own personality.
Yeah. So the more good personalities that you have, the better signals that they will send to your brain. Hey, I'm craving a nutritious, colorful salad instead of, hey, I'm craving McDonald's.
And that's the bad personality. That's the bad microbiome.
Yes. So if you're a very healthy person from the beginning, and that means probably you have a very healthy microbiome. And I guess it's a very easy way to see is to see if you crave bad foods. If you're always craving bad foods, that means sadly you're probably feeding the bad gut bacteria.
Yeah. And they grow stronger and stronger and bigger, and they I guess they tilt the balancing beam to their side, and it makes you crave these bad foods more and more.
I love I used to bake a lot, so I love making like cakes, cupcakes, and like brownies and all of that. And whenever I noticed that whenever I keep making and keep eating them, it's a never-ending cycle. It's so difficult to stop. But once I manage to stop it and I don't eat it for like a week or two, and then I'm in a very good balance.
As in your mood, right?
Yes, and I don't crave
body,
those things anymore.
I think when you eat too much sugar, there is that word, right? Sugar high.
Yes.
And you go into this peak glucose level.
Yes.
And that makes your body feel very imbalanced. I don't know if you feel that way, but mostly the time when you eat sugar, you just go into a high and then you fall really quickly.
And then the sad thing is you want to get back to the high because you feel when your blood sugar is too low, you start to get crankly, you're shaking, you feel unstable. And the easiest way to get it back up is carbohydrates and sugar. That's why balancing your blood sugar and gut health is actually goes hand in hand. Everything in the body is actually. So when I was telling you that I did a full detox a few years ago, 5 years ago now actually, part of the reason was because I realized I had a leaky gut. So which means it's actually, how do you get it tested? I did a stool test, and I added on I think it's an enzyme called like zonulin. So that is, if it's too high, then that means you have leaky gut. That means the gaps between the cells of your gut lining gets looser and bigger. So that means the food is not getting digested and it's going through your gut lining. So instead of going through digestion, it's going through to your body and to your blood. And over time, whatever you're eating, even though it's really healthy, it's not getting absorbed. So nutrients are not getting absorbed in your body. And when I did the test, I was also very highly deficient in a lot of essential minerals and vitamins. So it goes hand in hand again together.
So how did you first start reintroducing, I guess, new habits?
So 5 years ago, it was actually quite an intense protocol because I had to go through a detoxification system, cutting out all the foods that I realized was bad for me through a food sensitivity test, and also things like sugar, carbohydrates, and all of that. So eating a lot of non-starchy vegetables, some starchy vegetables are okay, healthy fats, healthy protein, and then just try to rebalance the gut. Just keep feeding it good food. And then I was also taking a lot of supplements that help detoxify the gut microbiome, and eventually the good stuff will start growing again. It's like growing a garden, and then you get healthier and you feel better, and all my levels, the right levels such as the vitamins and nutrients, started going up. So that's when I knew, yes, I'm on the right track. And honestly, you feel a lot better.
Yeah, you feel happier. More dopamine. On the documentary, they interviewed a lot of different people, all sizes and shapes. So someone that was extremely thin and he could eat a lot, and then another lady who was in some ways quite overweight. Every time she tried to go on a diet, it didn't work. She kept on gaining more weight. So the documentary talked a lot about how it's not about what diet you go on or how severely you don't eat. It's about what microbiome, I guess, mix up you have in your body, and whether you're actually feeding your body the right things to kind of create the right sort of habits for yourself to create the body shape that you're looking for. So I found that very, very insightful.
It's something that you would never know, right? Unless it becomes a really big problem. I think, remember the really thin guy? I think he was actually a competitive eater.
Yes.
I think from what I remember, they said he had leaky gut. So that means that he ate like an insane amount of food, but he's not gaining weight, and he's not getting healthier, and he's not absorbing the nutrients because the gut lining is completely wrecked, right? Nothing is getting absorbed properly. And so that's why sometimes when people can eat a lot but they're still unhealthy. I think that's the saddest part, right? Like, he obviously, when he was younger, he made a living out of this I guess he thought it was a gift. But it turns out, I think most people would think it's a gift.
Most people think, I can eat so much and I can make this a career and not gain weight. But then I think later through life, he became even more depressed because his attitudes towards food became less of a happy and a surprise, like you get to taste everything. He really had no more feelings towards food. He just felt like he'll put it in his mouth, it won't really taste like anything anymore, and nothing will happen to him. He won't feel full. It's actually not a gift, it's a curse. It's a curse.
It's a double-edged sword. Sadly, you only realize that until later on in your life. Whatever you eat actually it's connecting and it's signaling to your body, like we talked about, the microbiome and everything else interconnects. So it's very common for someone like him to feel like he's eating all this. I think it was showing that he won the hot dog eating competition. And he ate like an insane amount of hot dogs. And it's because, sadly, there are no nutrients. And there's a lot of bad things in hot dogs, such as, refined carbohydrates, really bad quality meats. And sadly, it had a wreck in his system for so long that he's unable to really feel connected to his body, right? That is what he was going through.
I find the gut such an interesting part of our body. It's like a collection of food memories. Or a collection of a food diary for us.
It's like a Wikipedia.
Of your entire history, childhood, of what you ate. Were you good or were you bad this year? The only way that we can find out whether we what kind of memories our gut has is really through a stool test, and it's really taking your poop and getting it analyzed.
It's so funny because this is so timely because I actually am doing a updated comprehensive analysis because it's been 5 years, and I just sent my poop sample out yesterday.
And we should make it a thing, like you should do it every 5 years, or you should do it every 2 years, because it changes.
And I know that I've always suffered from gut health since a young age, so I just want to get it checked.
On the documentary, what was really funny was, I guess, everyone discovering, like all the interviewees discovering that they actually had to do a poop test. And then they realized that they had to send it, get analyzed, they get their poop analysis back. And then one lady was like, you know what? Maybe if I change my microbiome makeup, maybe I'll feel better. So then she started ingesting her boyfriend's poop, which then she ingested his microbiome.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, the most interesting thing is that I think her boyfriend suffers from depression. So when she started taking his poop tablets, after 3 months, she started getting depressed. Because you're gaining that person's kind of microbiome makeup, and you're gaining some of their, I guess, their traits and their, their DNA as well. So then she was like, you know what, I'll switch it out with my brother instead, because I don't want to be depressed. So she does 3 months of her brother's poop, ingests it, takes it in a pill form, and realizes she's getting a lot of acne.
Right.
And it's because her brother suffers from acne since he was a kid. So
that just shows how much your microbiome plays in your body.
I honestly think she should do it herself. Instead of relying on other people's poop. Just eat the right foods. I know it's tough, and I think Melody talked about how she went through this long journey of recoloring her microbiome and recoloring her diet and readjusting herself. And I think everyone should. Some journeys are harder than others, I'm sure, but I think it's important that you do it yourself instead of eating other people's poop to change up your microbiome makeup.
Yes. Actually, doing so, it's a long-term investment, right? It compounds over time. So the better you feel today, the more you put in today, you'll feel much better tomorrow.
Agree.
And as we age and as we get older, we will feel much better, and we won't be susceptible to that many
slaves
diseases.
to our body or what we eat. Slaves to bad food.
So I guess a good thing to think about is if you start feeling a little bit of symptoms, or you don't feel that great after eating something, or you're not sure what you're eating is good for you, just be more aware of how you feel after.
Like the bloatedness, I think is very key.
Are you having cravings? Are you are you always eating are you eating a lot of high carbs? Are you eating a lot of sugar? Just being more aware. I think having a food diary or taking a photo of what you eat, and then looking back at, actually I didn't really feel very well. This will give you a few pinpoints.
I think we don't listen to our body a lot of the times, and when you eat a meal and you feel bad, you don't correlate to the food you're eating. You might correlate it to today's a bad day. But it's really not. What you're putting into your body is a direct correlation to how you're feeling. So be mindful every time if you feel crap after eating dinner. It could be one of the things that you ate during dinner. It could be that you're having chips for dinner. Right? So
that's not good for you.
Yeah, it's not good for you. So having a food diary would be a great move. And just noticing symptoms like
going on a high
and then you
going
drop
on a
really
low.
sad, depressed, or you feel bloated, you feel down, and you feel constipated. After you eat a meal, your mood shifts quite dramatically.
Honestly, anything that if you don't feel 100%, it's a good indication.
And also, if you guys have questions, I think Melody is pretty much in the right spot to guide you through this whole experience.
And honestly, it's what I went through 5 years ago is why I want to be a functional medicine health coach, because I've learned so much about this, and I want to empower and help people, take control of their health.
Hope you guys eat better. Watch the documentary, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode on hacking your health and how to eat better. And hope you guys learned something new. And if you have any questions, feel free to message us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.